Yeah, you putting those people on contracts. So all that stuff add up.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
The more people that's around helping, and people don't help for free no more like that.
That's not about football. That's about something else.
I'm like real life investment. Like, I know the most guaranteed stock I got is myself. So put everything I got into me.
Ooh.
Woo, Shedeur Sanders didn't just play the game. He flipped the whole script before even throwing one pass in the NFL. This fifth-round rookie, stuck at the bottom of the Browns' depth chart, shook up the league and walked away stacking over $21 million in brand deals, merch sales, and media moves that had vets scratching their heads. Think about that for a second. While most rookies just prayed to survive training camp, Shedeur turned the bench into his stage and cashed in like a superstar.
There's some backlash from you putting yourself out there, but when you embrace it, he's just like, this is what it is.
This wasn't luck, and it sure wasn't hype about being Deion's son. This was calculated, straight strategy, a new kind of quarterback built for the digital era, where clout, content, and control mean everything. Fanatics dropped his jersey before the Browns even locked in their QB chart, and boom, $250 million worth of Shedeur Sanders gear flew off shelves.
And that would be counter to anything we've seen from Shedeur Sanders in terms of how he's conducted himself across a couple of different stops in college football from Jackson State to Colorado. And for somebody that's grown up in the limelight, you knew that being Deion Sanders' son is going to come along with a different degree of scrutiny.
He cleared $15 million before the preseason whistle even blew. When asked if he embraced it, he shrugged and said, "This is what it is. That's the energy." No ESPN stamp needed. No waiting on Mel Kiper to announce his name. Shedeur built his empire his way, turning nil into his own ATM. This isn't your typical rookie grind. It's a takeover. And if you thought the NFL controlled the narrative, you just met the one man rewriting it. Most rookies chase reps at practice. Shedeur, he was chasing equity before his cleats even touched an NFL field. He banked $6 million in NIL deals. But here's the difference. This wasn't no basic photo op money. These were ownership plays, long-term partnerships, and equity grabs that veterans twice his age never even sniffed.
I don't think he's John Elway. I don't think he's Peyton Manning or even Eli. But I think he's the best quarterback they have, and it'll just take him time. And I think he's a good kid. By and large, good kid.
While others smiled for quick checks, Shedeur was out here building a dynasty. He didn't just wear the brand, he became the brand. His deals stretched from merch collabs to digital content partnerships to paid appearances where he controlled not just the look but the whole message. This wasn't a side hustle. This was the foundation of a brand new quarterback business model, and nobody saw it coming. And the craziest part, he laid all this groundwork while still in college. Nothing was handed to him. Yeah, his dad's fame gave him shine, but he flipped it into gold. He studied the market, built his content team, ran his socials like a CEO, and turned every ounce of buzz into pure profit. He wasn't waiting to go pro to eat. He was already moving like a pro. $6 million before a single snap, no playbook, no template, just vision, leverage, and a fearless plan. And trust, that was only the opening chapter. No preseason snaps, no guaranteed roster spot, and still, Shedeur Sanders had the #1 selling rookie jersey in the nation.
Different level of why he's so marketable is because he pulls up in these little regular spots and just be showing love.
Let that sink in. The Browns hadn't even locked him into their QB room, yet Fanatics pushed his jersey out before higher draft picks like Dylan Gabriel or even returning names like Kenny Pickett. That's wild. While other rookies sat around waiting for PR teams to build some hype, Shedeur was the hype. This wasn't a slip-up. It was a calculated launch. The NFL and Fanatics saw the wave coming. They saw the clicks, the followers, the frenzy. Shedeur didn't just sell jerseys. He moved culture. In days, $250 million worth of his gear vanished off shelves. And unlike most rookies who get pennies from jersey sales, Shedeur secured a fat cut, $15 million straight to his pocket. And here's the kicker. Those jerseys weren't just in Cleveland. Raiders fans, Dolphins fans, even people who don't watch football were rocking his name. Fans weren't buying into the Browns. They were buying into Shedeur himself. One fan straight up said, "I'm not a football guy. I'm here for Shedeur."
And it's that branding, bro, being a business, a walking business brand. He's a 5th-round pick, and he generated damn near well over $300 million already in merchandise sale.
That's not marketing, that's a movement. Draft analysts were still debating if he'd survive final cuts, but Shedeur already carved his place in history. The league hadn't even mic'd him up, and he already owned the spotlight. This man isn't just a quarterback, he's a walking media machine. While most rookies beg for a quick ESPN highlight or pray a reporter mentions their name, Shedeur already controls the story. From custom YouTube series to polished brand drops, he doesn't wait for coverage, he makes it himself. And don't get it twisted, this isn't about chasing one-off checks. Every deal he inked came with equity, points, and ownership stakes. Shedeur wasn't out here collecting crumbs, he was stacking control. His NIL playbook wasn't about promo ads, it was about empire building. Shedeur's deals weren't just quick endorsements, he locked in long-term stakes in companies and content platforms. While other players rent their spotlight for a season, Shedeur owns his outright. That's why when people throw on his jersey, they're not just repping a player, they're repping a movement, especially black fans. There was something way deeper at play.
It was good that I grown up Little League and all that stuff under center, so it bring me back to Little League days. Treatment, just on the field, off the field, just making sure everything's right.
Taking care of everything to make sure your body's right.
Yeah.
That's actually, I didn't even think about that.
This was about representation, pride, and power. Black business wasn't just a slogan, it was stitched into every seam of his jersey. One fan said it perfectly, "He's not my team, he's my symbol." Let that sink in. Fans weren't pledging loyalty to a franchise anymore. They were pledging loyalty to Shedeur himself, and the wild part, he didn't shy away from it. He leaned all the way in, built around it, and cashed in heavy. Most players hope to trend once. Shedeur strategizes how he'll trend and gets paid every single time it happens. This wasn't fame. This was brand warfare. While rookies prayed for ESPN highlights or a draft bump from Mel Kiper, Shedeur straight up torched the old playbook. He went straight to the people, crafting his own media empire, telling his story raw, unfiltered, and flipping passive fans into die-hard investors. And that right there is what shook the establishment to its core. He didn't wait for permission. He built his own platform and dared the world to keep up.
Shedeur was my 20th player. He's a first-round caliber player. Like talent-wise, both those guys, I think, have a huge advantage over Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett has to be light years better.
No slick agent pulling strings, no PR dinosaurs feeding headlines, just pure strategy, relentless content, and cold receipts. From YouTube series to IG drops to docu-deal signings, Shedeur turned storytelling into a weapon. And the result, a fan base that doesn't even need highlights to stay locked in. They follow him, not the scoreboard. Meanwhile, the sports media kept spitting out the same tired takes. He's just Deion's son. Let's see if he even makes the roster. But Shedeur was already steps ahead, executing a play they couldn't even comprehend. He was making headlines without saying a word, shifting culture while they argued over combine stats. By the time the NFL realized what was going down, it was already too late.
Shedeur Sanders, he's going to have to earn that money. I think it's brilliant the way the NFL structures these contracts, especially rookie contracts.
Shedeur wasn't just a story. He was the source of stories, and every single doubt thrown his way, that was more content, more leverage, more fuel for the empire. Because behind every jersey sold, every video streamed, every brand drop landed, there was a hidden ace, the prime equity clause. A concept inspired by Deion's old school grind, but supercharged with Shedeur's Gen Z blueprint. It flipped the entire athlete-brand relationship upside down, and he made it look effortless. When Shedeur dropped a jersey, he didn't just take a royalty cut, he had equity in the product. Every single move came with a seat at the table. No flat fees, no one-time checks, just long-term value locked in up front like a CEO making power plays, not a college kid chasing clout. That's why this whole thing hit different. Shedeur wasn't chasing attention, he was stacking assets. And that prime equity clause?
And I'm pretty sure I'm going to look it up if that's some type of record. I personally feel that's a record when you look at the atmosphere of it. You look at where he got drafted. Shedeur seems to overcome every time, no matter how much blitz packages you throw at Shedeur. He's durable. He could take the hits. He doesn't have to be the fastest man on the field.
It's now the playbook every athlete behind him is studying. You don't need to be a first-round pick to have first-class leverage anymore. You just need to own your image, your voice, and your audience. Shedeur had all three, and the receipts to back it up. The NFL thought they drafted a project quarterback. What they actually got was a walking business empire. a fifth-round pick with franchise-level pull, media dominance, and business IQ that scouts couldn't even wrap their heads around. They thought they were grabbing a developmental prospect. In reality, they signed a business partner and didn't even realize it. The Cleveland Browns might be sitting on a gold mine without the faintest clue. Let's break it down. Shedeur Sanders, a fifth-rounder, buried fourth on the depth chart. But his jersey outsold every single rookie in the entire league. He didn't even have a guaranteed roster spot. Yet he already had a national merch rollout, equity stakes, and a fan base that couldn't care less about the Browns logo. That's not a lucky break, that's a branding tsunami. And the Browns are walking around like it's just another Tuesday. While other teams were pumping energy into hyped draft picks like Dillon Gabriel, whose jersey couldn't even get off clearance racks, Shedeur was front and center on Fanatics before his contract ink was dry. Fans were smashing add to cart before he'd even touched a practice field. And here's the truth. This isn't just hype. This isn't just follower counts. This is loyalty, the kind franchises spend decades trying to build. Shedeur did it before he ever played a down. Now here's the scary part. If the Browns don't wake up soon, they won't just lose a player. They'll lose the whole movement. The fans, the media pull, the culture, everything. Because Shedeur's audience doesn't follow team logos, they follow him. Trade him tomorrow, and that loyalty packs its bags right alongside him. The Browns didn't create this wave, and if they don't tighten up, they'll drown under it. The Browns didn't create this wave. They just happened to be standing close enough to feel the splash. And now, they can either ride it or get crushed beneath it. While NFL insiders sat around debating Shedeur's arm strength and footwork, something way bigger was unfolding right under their noses, and almost everybody missed it. This ain't just about a rookie quarterback. This is about a power shift in the NFL itself. Shedeur Sanders didn't come in with just highlight reels. He came in packing a media empire, a direct-to-fan business model, and a blueprint that exposed how ancient the league's system really is. Every so-called barrier, Shedeur flipped it into a stepping stone. Media control, he built his own campaigns instead of waiting on team graphics. Contracts, he made sure equity was baked into every deal. And the hate? He turned every piece of criticism into monetized content. Every doubt, every side-eye take, it all became profit. What Shedeur proved is simple. The old grind where athletes had to wait their turn, earn respect, then maybe get leverage. That's dead. Now it's build first, monetize second, let the league chase you after. That's the play no one saw coming. And here's the craziest part. It's not just Shedeur anymore. He lit the match, and now there's a wave of athletes watching closely, realizing they don't need to play by the NFL's old school rules to win big. The league is scrambling, playing catch up fast. Imagine more players skipping the combine and signing streaming deals instead. Imagine equity becoming the new endorsement standard. That future isn't coming. It's already here. And who built it? Shedeur Sanders. He hasn't even thrown a single NFL pass, and he's already redefined the game. This isn't just NIL hype or flashy branding. This is about control, about rewriting the rules before ever touching the field. While other rookies begged scouts and execs for validation, Shedeur built his own stage and showed up with his audience already locked in. $6 million before his rookie deal. Ownership in every move, equity stitched into every step. Shedeur didn't just enter the NFL. He forced the league to enter his world. And Shedeur Sanders isn't just riding a media wave, he's the machine that creates it. He didn't just copy Deion Sanders' blueprint, he evolved it, flipped it, and now the NFL has no choice but to adjust to him, not the other way around. This ain't just a football story. It's a business revolution and a cultural pivot shaking locker rooms, front offices, and boardrooms at the same time. Because if a fifth-round pick with 0 guaranteed snaps can generate more value than top 10 draft selections, then the whole way we measure talent and worth in the league has to be rewritten. Shedeur didn't wait around to be crowned a franchise player. He made himself one before the NFL even realized what hit them. They thought they were drafting a project. What they really brought in was a movement in motion, and it's only getting louder, bigger, and more unstoppable by the day. So what do you think? Is Shedeur Sanders changing the game forever? Drop your thoughts in the comments, smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.